This is AVIOT, Atypical Voices in Our Time, the official podcast of Chemistry Productions. That's spelled K3MISTRY Productions, a media education company.
So go a little something like this. That's AVIOT.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Jay Stokes, your gracious co-host of the AVIOT podcast. Koya and Jay Random, our other co-hosts on this podcast, are not here today because they're on holiday. Like they say it in the UK, on holiday. I can't really do the accent that well, but whatever. I hope everybody out there had a good Thanksgiving. Now, for me personally, Thanksgiving is a sore spot because I know the history behind this holiday in the United States, and it's not a good one. While we've been taught as kids that it started with the Pilgrims in the 1620s, meeting the Native Americans or the indigenous people that were here and having this grand old feast. It actually wasn't that way. In fact, the history is very jumbled and it led to massacre and genocide. It led to these native populations being wiped out by these European settlers, or these pilgrims as you call it. It's a lot more complex, so it wasn't very nice. Actually, I found out another cool piece of information on Thanksgiving today. Well, not cool, but just interesting to me. And it was in the Washington Post, an article written by Christopher Petrella. In this article, he actually name drops this woman by the name of Sarah Josepha Buell Hale, and she's known as the godmother of Thanksgiving. Basically, she wanted Thanksgiving to be established as an actual holiday in the United States in order to unify the people in America. She wanted specifically for the nationalizing of Thanksgiving for the sake of a complete moral and social reunion of the people of America. See, when she was trying to advocate for this holiday, it was during the time where the Civil War was going on and things weren't very cool in the Americas. But here's the catch. She actually didn't want black people to be a part of this celebration. She wanted it to be a white-only holiday. She actually thought that blacks, as long as they were in America, they would be under the rule of white people. They would be under the rule of Europeans. So she wanted to advocate for them to go back to Africa, Liberia specifically, and then they could carry on with their affairs over there. So we have two different stories highlighting Thanksgiving, one in which the natives in this country were massacred, and the other in which the person advocating for the actual holiday was not a great person. Go figure. One thing I will say though about yesterday is that filmmaker and director Ava DuVernay took to Twitter and she shed light on the indigenous peoples of America, or of this land that we occupy now in the US. She provided a website called native-land.ca and asked people to check out the website and see what indigenous tribes actually occupied the area that they're living on in America. So if you live in Maryland, you can type in, or say you live in Baltimore, Maryland, you can type in the area and then it would say the native tribe that was originally inhabiting that land. So for me personally, I look at Thanksgiving more so as a way to be grateful for what has happened during the year. I actually have taken this holiday and changed my meaning, my definition of it. If you look at the Chemistry Productions YouTube channel, you'll see we actually posted a video thanking our supporters for helping us this year gain followers, get traction, gain money. Even on this podcast here, if you're listening to it, you're supporting us and we're very thankful for that. You can actually donate money if you want to, not pressuring or anything. But the money that we get from all of our endeavors and the followers we get help fund everything that we want to do going forward. We mentioned a lot that we are a media education company. So what we are planning to do is to educate different audiences out there, specifically teens and young adults, about the media they consume. We've been doing a pretty good job of it so far. We have the Ruining Your Faves video collection on our YouTube channel. We have the articles that are written on our Tit for Tat weblog. We have a lot of different opportunities here and there, but we hope to grow within the new year. So once again, thank you everybody out there that supports us. If you're listening to this podcast, this is your support. Definitely spread the word. Now, I'm recording this episode of the AVIOT podcast on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, and it's known as Black Friday. But if you follow us here on the AVIOT podcast, then you'll know on a past episode, we actually said we're going to now call this day That Friday.
Hey, the holidays is coming up, everyone. Black Friday is coming up.
Don't be fighting up at Walmart and Target, y'all.
Don't be.
Why they gotta be fighting on Black Friday for? Come on, man.
Listen.
Just everything black gotta be negative. Come on, man. That's why I don't use blackmail or blackball no more. I don't say that anymore. I can't deal with this anymore, man. I'm tired. Everything black gotta be negative.
Listen, all that I'm saying is Black Friday. Okay, that Friday, that holiday sale.
Yeah, we call it that Friday.
That Friday's coming up, everybody. Yes. Please, let's be safe out here because what I'm seeing on IG, shit is real. People getting stabbed up over chicken sandwiches.
Because words matter. A lot of times black is used in a negative manner, so you can only imagine how that impacts people who identify as black. We have Black Friday, which people tend to fight on Black Friday to get these sales at different stores. And then you have blackmail, blackball. All of these terms are connected to negative outcomes. So I just don't use them at all. I don't say blackball. I don't say blackmail. I'll use another term. And from now on, we're just going to call this That Friday. With that being said, I actually want to talk about a quick story, or two quick stories actually, that were sent to me and Koya by Jay Random while he is on holiday. The first one I want to talk about is this 82-year-old bodybuilder. It's actually a woman by the name of Willie Murphy who lives in Rochester, New York. And this story went viral. This bodybuilder, Murphy, actually beat up a person that broke into her house in November of this year, actually. And so this person was drunk. They broke into her house, and as a response to that, she poured shampoo on the guy's face and started beating him over the head with a broom. And she called the police. So thankfully, Murphy was not injured or harmed in this altercation right here. I like this story with Murphy specifically because it goes to show that even if you're an older individual, you can still do certain things that you could when you were younger. I always consider being old a state of mind. And if you have a young spirit, or if you think that you're younger, I think it could make your life quality a lot better. Yes, people like to say that life is short. I actually disagree with that. I think life is long, especially if you make the wrong decisions. It can be a long, troublesome, terrible life. So definitely take advantage of the situation that you have. Even if you're in a rough situation, try to think positively and try to move forward in a good direction.
And now for a quick commercial break.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? If you like what you're hearing so far, make sure you follow us on the Chemistry Production YouTube channel. If you have any suggestions or comments on our topics, either email us on k3mistryproduction@gmail.com or leave a comment on our YouTube channel. Peace.
How many times do I have to tell you? It's Productions with an S.
Now, the other story that Jay Random sent me was regarding Donald Trump Jr. He actually wanted people to send him videos of them arguing during Thanksgiving dinner over politics. He wanted people that were conservative or Republican to pick on their liberal family members and then start an argument during Thanksgiving dinner, videotape this, and then send it to him. He said the best video would actually get a free signed copy of his new book, as well as a Make America Great Again hat. As we know from what I was saying earlier about Thanksgiving, America never really was that great. It was started with colonization and a genocide of groups, tribes of people, which is terrible. Anyways, we're going into December, and this is actually one of my favorite times of the year because it centers around Christmas and Hanukkah and even Kwanzaa. This year, I actually bought a Kinara, finally, for the first time. The thing about Kwanzaa is it always gets some flack because people think it's a made-up holiday, which it is, but that's all holidays. Everything is made up. I just like Kwanzaa because, to me, it's the only holiday that actually celebrates Black history. Yes, I know the guy that started it was a crook. Yes, I know this. But we can say the same thing about the founders of Christmas that we know today. And as I told you before about Thanksgiving, the people that started that holiday weren't great either. So I'm very happy that this year I'm finally going to be able to celebrate Kwanzaa. Christmas is coming up. I was raised Southern Baptist, so I definitely enjoy the festivities there. I definitely enjoy the songs and the lights. My mom always raised me to love color in this beautiful presentation, as well as my aunt too. And with Hanukkah, a Jewish friend of mine actually gave me a little bit more information about the history of that. So maybe on future podcasts within this month or within December, I should say, I'll go into detail more about Hanukkah. And with that, I am signing off. Koya and Jay Random will be with us next week. Peace.
So go a little something like this. That's AVIOT.